So here's a quick truth. Consistency isn't built on good days. It's built on ordinary days. When no one's watching, when there's no hype. Yeah. And tonight what we'll do is we'll spend some time and lock in one action in place so that it keeps firing every single time. That's what we're talking about as we walk through this episode tonight. Hey, if you're new to me, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living. That's right. We're living limitless lives. Hey, go ahead and put new in the comments if you're new to us and you're just joining us here in this space. Put new in the comments so we can give you a hand clap and some music. And let you know that I am so excited that you are here. Go ahead. If you do have questions, drop those in the comments because we want to make sure that we get to those and we answer all those questions that you may have as we move through this space of improving our health. We are reversing diabetes, improving our metabolism, losing weight. We're lowering our blood pressure. We are bringing our cholesterol levels down. We are decreasing our chances of strokes and heart attacks. And we are battling that new idea that everybody's talking about, this idea of dementia related to diabetes and high blood sugar called type 3 diabetes. That's the phrase that we're using now. And so make sure that you are joining us as we go through this path, as we continue walking. And right now, I am 33 hours, a little over 33 hours into this week's fast. I welcome you, whatever platform you're on. If you're on LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitch, if you are on Facebook, if you are here, of course, on YouTube, welcome to the show. And a special welcome and shout out to our Accelerator community members who are out there and just hanging out with us. We've got some good things that we're going to take a look at. I've got my monitors off to the side that we'll look at. That shows what's going on with my blood sugar. And of course, right down below there is my Dexcom Clarity Report. And we'll walk through those here in just a moment. I want to make sure that you are all up to date as we go through the week with what's going on the channel, what's going on in this space. So if you get over to the YouTube channel, you'll find a couple of playlists there. One is called Start Here. So make sure you get over there. That is intended for you to be able to jump in and get started right away. Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull that up so that you can see what that looks like. Get started right away without any hesitation. This will allow you to see what are the pillars, what are the things that we are talking about, what are the platforms, what are the things that I talk about, what are we doing here in the community. That will give you the Start Here. And so there it is, the Start Here playlist. There are two playlists on the channel, and this one is just walking you through those pivotal shows that we've done, the concepts that we use here on the channel. There is a downloadable PDF that helps you walk through the process. If you click into the description, you can download that for free, and it helps you to categorize the videos that are there. What are the things you should be getting out of those videos? What should you be learning? There are some exercises, and at the end of that PDF, there is the Limitless Living kind of the agreement statement. It's a mantra. It is your commitment statement. I recommend that people read it, download it, sign it, print it out, and put it in the frame, put it on your wall, put it somewhere where you can see it on a daily basis. And we'll talk something about that here this evening as we get into the rest of the show. And then the next playlist that you will see is one that says this week's videos. And this is the videos that we've done this week, all the shows that we're doing. If you want to know what's happening this week, what are the conversations we're having right now in real time, this is where you will find that list. And at the beginning of that list, you'll see a what's happening video that I do at the beginning of the week to let you know what's coming as we move through the week so that you're never confused about what's happening here on the channel, and you can jump in at any time and get started. So, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at what's happening with my blood sugars. And first, let's go over, we're going to take a look at my Freestyle Libre, and that's what you'll be seeing here. And right there, you'll see my Freestyle Libre says that my blood sugar is 65. And so for most of today, if you look down at this graph, you'll see that it's been kind of straddling right at 90, right at 70. And that red part that you're seeing there, those are blood sugars that are below 70, and that's why it's red. The part that is white, the squiggly line, that's above 70, and there we go. Yeah, so right there, you'll see those numbers. And so right now, for most of the afternoon, we've been below 70. And in fact, right now, as you see, 65 is where we are. If I go to the reports, my time in range, 7-day report, and you'll see right there in the middle, 79% in range, with 15% being low and 6% being very low. And those numbers that you see down there at the bottom in the red, those are the numbers that represent when I'm usually fasting. And so that's usually when my blood sugar is in that range. If I go to a 90-day view, I'm 85% in range, 15% low, and 0% below in that very low range, which is usually 54 and below. Okay, going backwards and taking a look at my average blood sugar, and here you'll see in this line, my average blood sugar for the last 7 days has been 90. And it breaks it down right here according to the different times of the day. You see a range anywhere from 86 to 99. Yeah. And then going to the 90-day view, once again, here's the average at 89 right there for the last 90 days. And then scrolling down, looking at what it is broken down according to the different times of the day. And now let me get out of this one, bring us back here, and then let's go over and let's take a look at what's happening with my Dexcom. And right now, blood sugar is 97. Scrolling down to here, looking at the 24-hour period, we can actually put our finger over this and kind of see where we've been going. So here we are, 120s. That's about 24 hours ago. 120s into the low 100s. Right here is our toothpaste effect, up to about 130, and then coming back down over the course of the day. Boom, boom, boom. Here we are. And so right in here, let's see. Right in here was when we were at 24 hours. So if you were on our show, the pop-up live that we did earlier today, that's about when we were doing the show. And so we were right at about 112. And then scrolling into the rest of the day. And here we are right now coming back down into what we say 97, which is where we are at 33 hours. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's take a look at my monitors. And so here is my Keto Mojo and my Contour. And here is a Lancet. Let me pull this over so we gotta get this light up a little bit. Okay, there we are. And just get a finger and get a stick right there. Ow, 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 ow. And let's see. Yeah, we got a good drop. Let's get that started and get this one going. So this is the Contour. What do you think my blood sugar, my ketones are going to be, by the way? And so right now, here we are. So 74 is what the Manjaro says, not the Manjaro, the Keto Mojo, and the Contour says 80, and right there is what the Dexcom says, 97, and going backwards, 65, 63 now is what the Libre says. So as you see, and we've talked about before, these can be about 20% different from each other. So let's go ahead and get this out because it looks like my drop is drying. So I may have to, well, let's see. See if we can get a drop out there enough to get this started. If not, we'll, looks like we have to, nope, we didn't get it in time. So I'll have to get another one out. And get that in here. And let's get our Lancet again. And we'll need to do another finger stick right there. And ow, I think that just went into the same went in the same spot. All right, so that was a good drop. So it wasn't brisk, but it was flowing. All right. And so what do you think? What do you think my ketones are going to be? I see some people are dropping some comments in there. 3, 2, 1, and 0.7. Look at that, y'all. 0.7. So let me go over and let's see. Do I have my Keto Mojo? Yeah, I haven't got my Keto Mojo app up. So let's go ahead and pull that over and let's go ahead and sync it. So that's pulling that data over. So let's try again. And so ketones, let's talk a little bit about ketones while that's working. So ketones that are less than 0.5, as mine is, less than 0.5 are considered normal. 0.5 to 1.5, as mine is considered nutritional ketosis. And then above that, considered therapeutic ketosis. So when we're in fasting with the intention of becoming or getting into ketosis, or you're doing a ketogenic diet, or even a fasting mimicking diet, the goal there is to get those ketones functioning so that we get into fat burning. Okay, so that's the idea. And so that's pulling up there. We'll see. Now well, I won't change it. I was going to show you something else. Let's go ahead and we'll come back to ketones in just a minute, but let's go ahead and hop over and let's take a look at what's been going on with the blood sugars themselves as we look through the day. All right, and so here we are. My average over the last 14 days, 124, and we'll see some of that here in just a minute. With my glucose management indicator 6.3, and I'm in target 98% of the time. And so remember, target is 70 to 180. So it is possible to be at 70 and be in target, and it could possibly be at 180 and be in target. But I usually tell my patients I want their average blood sugar to be between 100 and 120. If you keep it there consistently, then you'll get an A1C about 6.5 is what we shoot for. So 6.3 on average is what this is saying. If I look at the 90-day average, and so now average blood sugar is 116 with glucose management indicator being 6.1 and being in target 98% of the time. Target once again being 70 to 180. Looking at the daily graphs over the last several days, let's go back and so we started our fast right here, and so 121 is what the blood sugar was at the time, and let's go ahead and move forward from that point. And so let's say we were at 1 o'clock. Okay, so 1 o'clock, and then 2 o'clock, 1 hour, 119, 3 o'clock, 129. 4 o'clock, we're now 3 hours later, and then 5 hours later, 6 hours later, 7 hours later, down into the 80s. 8 hours later, popped up a little bit there. 9 hours later, 10, 11, and 12 hours later, coming into the morning, and that's today, this morning, as we moved into the next day. And down into the 120s, 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 dropped a little bit here, And this drop is likely something that happened with the sensor while I was sleeping. As you know, sometimes the sensors will not pick up well while you're sleeping. And sometimes I'll have people say, hey, my blood sugar went low. And I usually tell people that they should check the number with a finger stick just to verify. And so here we are, one teens, low 100s. And then coming into the morning, here's our toothpaste effect up to 140. And then into the rest of the day. Hey, look at that. It got up to about 145 here. And then continuing to fall over the course of the rest of the day down into where we are right now. Okay? And then let's go back here because it looks like our Keto Mojo has completed. It says sync completed. And here are our numbers. So I'm looking at these three numbers right here. So the big one in the middle, that's my GKI, or glucose ketone index. It is a ratio of the glucose, which is down there in the brown, and the ketones, which is in the blue or aqua color that's there. So if I take that ratio, I end up with this 5.8. Now you're looking at that number and you're saying, hey, that's not the right number. So let's go ahead and let's grab a calculator. So let's get the number first. So 74 and 0.7. Is that what we had? I thought I had 1.8. Let's make sure. 77 and 0.7. Okay. Huh. Is that the right number, y'all? I think we're missing one number. Let's go ahead and let's sync that again. So those are numbers from before. So because I think my number was at 0.8 is what we had tonight. Let's go ahead and we're syncing that again. So let's go ahead and let's have a conversation. So once again, yes, less than 0.5 considered normal, 0.5 to 1.5 considered therapeutic or nutritional ketosis, and then above that considered to be therapeutic. So we want our numbers to be at least 0.5 or higher as we are as we're walking through the space of beta oxidation, which is the breakdown of fat into energy ketones. All right. So while that's doing, I'm going to go ahead and pop over and let's say hello to some of our community members while that is functioning. And let's do this. All right. So let's see. So we've got so Gian is saying, "Hey, Doctor and LLG." Well, let me get rid of this one. There we are. Gian saying, hey, Doctor and LLG. Hey, Gian, thank you for coming through and hanging out with us. We've got Steve saying, hello, friends. Gian, Doctor, I like your yellow shirt. Thank you. Hi, Steve. From Gian. Steve is saying hello back. She planned to fast today and break the fast tomorrow. Yay, congratulations. Steve says he finished a 50-hour fast with at 2 o'clock. So yeah, Steve, hand clap for you as well. And then Cornelia says, hello, Dr. Woode, Gian, Steve, LLG. I love the yellow shirt too. Well, thank you. Wow, great job, Steve. Hi, sis from Gian. Yellow shirt, love. Okay. Jennifer saying, howdy, what's up, Jennifer? Nebraska. And Steve says, I've started doing a 48-hour fast once a week and then one meal a day every other day. Oh, I love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And Gian says, hi, Jennifer. Steve, you and your wife have inspired me to stay in therapeutic ketosis after this fast. Thank you both for the inspiration and for sharing your stories. Definitely, definitely. Hey, Jennifer from Cornelia. Cornelia said, that's awesome, Steve. Congratulations, Cornelia. Have you been able to stay in ketosis? Good question. Yeah, have you been able to stay in ketosis? Great job, Cornelia. Jennifer says sound. Jennifer says no sound. Now, are you guys hearing me? Gian says no sound. Okay, let's see. Let's get back here. Like which one? Hopefully you're hearing me now. Thanks, Jennifer. I had struggled too. I usually eat something that kicks me out the same day. I break my fast. LLL. I plan to be more careful. And so Cornelia is saying 0.5, 0.6, and they're guessing ketones are 3.0. Okay. Jennifer said, I'm a carb addict. If I work through the withdrawal stage, then I can stay in ketosis, but small temptations are a downfall. I plan to eat my fast or end my fast on Friday. Cornelia said, I love your plan. Gion is saying, Cornelia said, all right, Gion, you were closer. And then Jennifer saying, carb addict, absolutely my thing. I hear you, Jennifer. Thank you. Okay. All right. So we'll come back and we'll say hi to some of those. Now, someone just drop a message for me there. Let me know that you are that you can hear us as we move through the rest of this. As a matter of fact, let me do something here really quickly, and to make sure that I can hear you and you can hear me. Let's see. Let's go here. And okay, so no. Okay. So I am not hearing the sound either. All right, let's see what we got going here. Cornelia says I can hear. Okay, so I'm not sure why some folks are not hearing, but I am guessing. Cornelia says I can hear, so I'm guessing that everyone else can hear at this point as well. Okay, if you can't, just drop me a message as we get into the rest of our conversation. And we're talking about fasting, and we're talking particularly this week about consistency, right? So that's been the theme of what we're discussing. So let's go ahead and let's get over and get into that discussion. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that discussion right now. All right, so we're talking about consistency. And so consistency isn't built on hype. And we've kind of talked about that as we're talking specifically about holding the line, right? So hold the line. And a lot of our members are doing things, a lot of our community members are doing things to improve their health. Whether it's they have some metabolic issue that they're dealing with right now. It could be weight. It could be blood pressure. It could be cholesterol. It could be their A1C. There's something going on, and we're moving in that direction. Or there are simply, it may not be something that is visible yet, but they are interested in improving their health in general. And so they're moving along our health action plan, right? So we've kind of walked through that process. It is very much fun to get started. In fact, recently I got into a new program, and I'm excited, right? So the beginning was just great. Hey, come on, let's do it. And there was the pump, the adrenaline that's going. But consistency is not built on the hype. It's about the It's about the big bursts of motivation, yes, but also it's about the day to day. That is what causes us to be able to move forward. Everything that we do has to line up. Consistency is about finding one action you can hold on to, one step that stays steady, even when life gets messy. And life does get messy. And so what we want to do is we want to talk about exactly how to lock that action, whatever that action is, in place so it sticks no matter what. So holding the line. So whether you are saying, hey, this week I'm working on, my food, or I'm working on my sleep, I'm working on my rest, right? So I'm working on my strength training. Whatever it is, how do we lock that in? And that's what we want to talk about as we move through the rest of our discussion. So here's the thing. The problem isn't you. The problem is friction. Most people think that they lack willpower. But what they really lack is low friction. Habits fail when they require too many steps, too many decisions, or too much energy to start. That's friction. Your job isn't to be stronger, it's to make the action easier to begin with, right? And it makes it easier to do the action than it is to avoid the action. This is the goal. This is what we want. So that when you are thinking about the thing that you want to do, when it is much easier for your mind and your body to get into it, to get going, then it's much simpler to do. Now, this is not intended to say that there is not going to be some friction at the beginning. It's not going to be, you have to get into the process. But that's what consistency is helping us develop. It is that one step, that simple step, one thing at a time, over and over, that decreases the friction so that we get used to it. We get that routine. We've talked about the HEAT model, habits, emotions, access, and taste. Do you know why the habits are so easy to do? Why we always fall back to them? Because there's no friction. So as we're going through the week, we've talked about picking that one thing. What is the one thing that we're picking? Pick one thing, one action this week, and then begin working to remove the friction that's associated with it. So whether it's walking, right? Shoes by the door. It's hydration. Fill the bottle and carry it with you. Put it on your desk. Have it in your mug. If it's journaling, have a pen and notebook open on your pillow, on your desk, so that the inertia of getting to that is low, and so your body says, okay, that's what we're doing. But if you have to go uphill to be able to do it, then guess what? Yeah, it doesn't work. Okay? So we want to lower friction, because when we lower friction, it raises the follow-through. When we lower the friction, it raises the follow-through. So once friction drops, once friction goes down, we still need, though, a trigger so that the action fires automatically. So how do we go about doing that? And this is, I want to talk about the anchoring it, the cue to doing it. So when we anchor something, we get a cue and we just do that. So consistency loves a cue. If there's no cue, there's no rhythm. So what we want to do is we want to attach your one action, whatever that is, to something you are already doing. That's the pairing. That's called the anchoring. The anchor tells your brain, when this happens, I do that. After I brush my teeth, I take 10 slow breaths. I'm practicing my breathing. Maybe it's the box breathing. Maybe it's the breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you've been following along with our Move campaign, you see us doing that at the end of our workout. When I pour my coffee, get my drink. When I get my tea, I drink half a bottle of water, anchoring it to something that you're already doing. When I close my laptop, I walk for 5 minutes. Now, you're thinking, oh, that's a silly thing. But the brain is a fascinating machine. When there are things that are there that trigger, that cue, then the brain naturally falls into that. So write it down. Write your sentence. Ready for the sentence? Write this down. After I blank, whatever that thing is going to be, that's the thing you're already doing, I will do the action. Then say it out loud. So after I get home, I'm going to do 10 squats. After I take my shower, I'm going to journal. After whatever it is, we're anchoring the action that you want that one thing to the behavior that's already there. Anchor cues us, and when we do that, we are able to move forward. So there's not this big inertia that we've got to get over. But we got to anchor and we have a cue, right? That's great. But what about when life throws the curveball? That's when what we call the shield comes into play, right? The if-then shield. So life will interrupt. Consistency survives when it's pre-negotiated. Oh, come on. Life is going to throw stuff. Life is going to, and I stopped saying the phrase life happens, because everything that's happening in life is life happening. Okay? So it's not something extra. Things are going to happen in life, but our consistency survives that process when we pre-negotiate it. So we want to create what's called an if-then loop or if-then plan. So surprises, unexpected things don't derail us. My background is in math and computer science, and so when we would program, we would write these. If this particular thing is reached or this state is achieved, then you do something else, right? So you write a loop to count stuff, and one of the simple things that we used to do, we write a loop to count and write numbers on the screen, right? So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When we reach 10, then we put a 1 and we move to the next place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When we reach 10, we put another 1 and we move to the next place, right? So what we're doing is we're teaching the computer, or we're not teaching it, but we are writing a program that allows the computer to write in the ones digit, the tens digit, the hundreds, the thousands, and so forth. And so you look at the screen, and each time that loop is reached, it does something else. It's automatic. It's not, I think I'll do it this time, or I won't do it next time. When the state is reached, the thing happens. Here's an example. If my meeting runs long, then I'll walk during the phone call. If my meeting runs long, I'll walk during the phone call. If I forget my bottle, then I'll drink a full glass at each bathroom break. If I miss my morning slot when I'm exercising, then I'll do 2 minutes before bed. If I'm traveling, I'll do my 5-minute circuit. If I go to the bathroom, I'll do my 50 push-ups against the counter. Right? So if then, because life is going to do something, life is going to throw something, life is going to get something unplanned. But if I've already written that if-then loop, I don't have to worry about that because it's much easier for me to be able to move into that space because I've already done some pre-planning. So go ahead and grab your journal, go ahead and grab your paper, and I want you to write one if-then loop for that thing that you've decided you're going to do. The exact way that your day is going to go if that thing happens. If I and we've given you some examples, right? So go ahead and write that out. Now, you've lowered friction, right? You've anchored it, and you've shielded it with the if-then. Let's make it visible so that the wins begin to stack. Let's make it visible so the wins begin to stack. So one of my favorite stories that I've shared before is attributed to Jerry Seinfeld. Somebody asked him, a comic asked him, "Hey, how did you become so good at telling jokes?" And Seinfeld said, "Well, I just wrote jokes. I wrote jokes for days and days and days and days. And on the calendar, I just tracked it. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, big red X. So what gets seen gets sustained. You hear that phrase, out of sight, out of mind? Yeah. That's why here in this space, I've got my Limitless Living logo sitting right there. I've got my commitment statement back over there. I've got a picture of me and my son back there. We've got stuff, I got things over here, right, that remind me, that trigger me, that are cues to me. Your brain loves closing loops. A visual streak turns effort into momentum. When you're able to see it, then the brain begins triggering. Oh yeah, that's right, that's that thing. On my desk right now, on my computer screen, if I move over, and we won't show that to you right now, we'll do a different one at some point. I've got a organization system that I do. And so when I log in, I don't go to anything else until I pull that up. It's my schedule, it's my calendar, and we got it laid out here. So when I see that, my brain gets triggered that, hey, there's something I need to do. Otherwise, what do you think happens? Well, I get into all kinds of other things, and it's an hour later, and I was like, oh my goodness, I was supposed to do this other thing. But it was out of sight, out of mind. A calendar. Mark an X for each day that you complete the action. Put in your journal, I can, or I did, or my accomplishment journal. Get a tally system, get some cards, right? So, hey, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. A lot of people have those calendars where you can rip the date off. Sure. And stack them up. Take them off the calendar. Hey, I did this today. Put them over here. Keep small cards in your pocket. Add 1 tally per completion. Here's a guardrail. If you miss, don't panic. Just follow the never miss twice rule. Yeah. Just add it up. Say, hey, look at that. There's 1 there. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, Thursday I missed because there's not an X on the calendar, but there's going to be an X on Friday. Oh, look at this. I got these cards, and 1 for each day. And I missed 1, right? So I've got 6 in there. I needed 7 for this week, so I missed 1. But okay, number 8's coming in because I'm not going to miss more than 1 day. That's how we put this together. That's a guardrail. But even when it's visible, slip-ups can happen. So how do we make sure that a slip doesn't turn into a slide? Slip doesn't turn into a slide when we do what's called the 24-hour return. 24-hour return. Consistency isn't never slipping, but it's always returning. Consistency is not about not missing, but it's about coming back. So shame says quit. Structure says return. Decide your next available micro slots within the next 24 hours. One of the things that my wife and I did early on is it was, okay, if we have one of those challenging discussions, right, we weren't allowed to spend more than a certain amount of time without coming back and say, okay, let's talk about it. We pre-decided what the time was. Same thing here. Those micro wins, coming back within 24 hours, that's a win. So whatever it's going to be, finish this sentence. If I miss today, tomorrow I will blank before whatever time. So if I miss my workout today, then tomorrow I'll do my workout before, and pick a time, within 24 hours. If I end my fast today and I didn't intend to end the fast, then tomorrow I will. If I didn't drink my water, tomorrow I'll drink my water by whatever it is. Return is powerful. And when we set these micro resets, they become micro wins, and they help the momentum keep going. So returning is powerful, but if you want long-term confidence, you've got to zoom out and see the bigger picture. So what's the bigger picture? Confidence that comes from the chain. So here's the truth. Every action you repeat is a vote. Every time you repeat an action, that's a vote. But the chain of votes builds an identity. When you think your actions and you link them together, day after day, time after time, you're not just building streaks, you're building confidence. You're saying to your brain and you're saying to your mind, this is who we are. When we do our 100-day walking, 100-day walk to consistency, do a 100-day strength training, do our 100-day of move. Every time we show up, every time we say yes, every time we push through, that's another link in the chain. It's another brick in the foundation. It's another piece to the puzzle. And every time we do that, we're building confidence. Because confidence does not come from hype. You can hype it up all you want, but confidence comes from history. From saying, I've already done this. I've done it 10 times. I've done it 20 times. I've done it 50 times. That chain becomes your proof. Because our inner critic is going to remind us of the time when we didn't, or the time when we couldn't. But the chain that you've created, the chain that you're growing, the chain that is happening right now, this is the proof that no, this is who I am now. This is the character. This is the identity that I'm building. So what's your chain? Write it down. For example, my hydration chain is, boom. My walking chain is, name it, make it real, make it feel real. And when you do that, it builds ownership. I walked for 100 days. I did strength training for 120 days. I've now fasted once a week for the last 300, I'm going to say 300 weeks. Own it. Change create confidence, but confidence multiplies when you connect it to your bigger story. So let's talk about the ripple effect. Ripple effect. Your one action isn't just for you. It ripples outward. Mm-hmm. When your kids see you drink water instead of soda, that's a ripple. When your spouse sees you walk, that's a ripple. When your coworkers see you fasting, that's a ripple. Your actions become someone else's evidence that transformation is possible. Mm-hmm. So we ask ourselves, who benefits when I'm consistent? Who benefits when I hold the line? Who benefits when I am able to build this loop? Write down one name. Find somebody. Who is it that is in your group, in your sphere, in your family, in your community? Who is watching? Now, the thing that I am becoming so much aware of, and you would think this makes sense to me, okay? Well, I'm here on the show, and obviously, I know there are people watching. You guys are watching. But there are people that are watching that I did not realize were watching. So I'll see people at my church and they say, hey, I was watching you this morning and let me ask you a question about this thing you said. Wow. Or I shared the story with you with my mom, who says she was in a situation recently and somebody was talking to her and she said, well, my son has a phrase. And it is that I'm not allowing anything outside of me or anything from inside of me to prevent me from doing what I need to do. Mommy is watching. Now, obviously, she's my mom, right? But there are people around you that are getting benefit. And even though they don't say anything, it's having a ripple effect. So that keeps me going. It keeps you going when you're tempted to interrupt because of whatever the unexpected is. Because it's not just about you. There is a ripple effect that's happening. There's a ripple effect that is there that will push you in a positive direction if you let it. It's there. And so let's talk about the benefits that we're getting, right? So ripple effect is there. Let's bring it on home. Let's bring it together. Number one, when we are consistent, when we hold the line, we are lowering friction. And in order for us to be successful, in order for us to do what we need to do, we've got to lower friction. Because when we are not lowering friction, what happens is the body doesn't allow us. It's not easy. Right? So it's not easy. And so it is difficult to continue the process. So we want to lower friction. Number two, we want to anchor it. So anchor it to something that's going on, something else that's happening, some other behavior that we do on a regular basis, and add the one thing that we want to do to something we're already doing. We want to shield it. And this is this idea of if-then. We are pre-planning. If this happens, we're going to do this other thing. Because we're shielding the behavior. Otherwise, when the unexpected happens, then we get derailed. Then we're going to make it visible. Not out of sight of the mind. We're going to make it very prominent so that we see it. And every time we see it, our brain is going to say, hey, here's the thing. Oh, I love this. I love this. You want to hear this? Even if you don't do it the first 100 times, the brain is going to say, hey, we keep seeing this thing. We keep seeing this thing. We keep seeing this thing. And one of those times, our brain is going to connect with us and say, hey, let's do this thing that we keep seeing. Because it's there. Make it visible. And then return fast. Don't linger. Don't let the self-doubt, don't let the shame push you further down the road. Make a time. In 24 hours, I'm coming back. We're not letting this go just like that. And then celebrate wins. Celebrate wins. It's not about being perfect, but it's about staying the course, about holding the line. And then we want to protect the one thing that we're doing. When we do that, it begins to multiply and it affects all that we do, even rippling out to affecting people around us. That is how we finish strong. That's how we lock in. Not 100 things at one time, but that one thing that we're committed to doing. We set up a process that helps us to move the line forward or move the goal forward. We hold the line. One action that sticks is so important. Consistency beats intensity every single time. So we're not looking for consistency. We're not looking for intensity. We are looking for consistency. All right, so we are holding the line, holding the line. What are we doing in our lives that is going to push us in that direction of being successful? The things that we learn, the things that we are processing. There are so many changes that are going on in us personally. I love these series that we've been going through because they're setting us up for long-term success. One of the challenges, and we were actually talking about this in the office, is that there's so much that we do in life that is other than work, right? So work and school, that's usually very organized. And even the things that we do at home, right? So the chores that we do and how we run the house, very organized. But when it comes to our health, that is usually very haphazard. And so we no longer want that to be the case. We no longer want that to be where we end up. We want to be able to do what we need to do to be successful. So remember, here's your takeaway. Success doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing one thing consistently, lowering the friction, anchoring it to daily rhythm, shielding it with an if-then statement, make it visible, and then return quickly when you slip. That's how one small action grows into unstoppable momentum. If you protect the one will multiply. And that is the goal for what we're doing. And as we move through this space, we're talking about and we teach based on our Triple E formula for success that says we educate, we empower, we encourage. We're educating with the shows, with the blogs, with the podcast. We encourage or empower with the tools that we're learning. And we've learned several tools that you now have access to, that you now have the ability to use. And we've talked about those enough. And if you've not done so, go ahead and get over to the channel. If you go through that that Start Here playlist, right, within that is embedded a lot of those tools. And so take those tools and use them. This process only is as powerful as your personal interaction with it. I'm going to have to write that down somewhere. Let me say that again. All the theory that we talk about, even the tools that you have in your hand, until you infuse it with your behavior, it is just simply a tool. It's like me having a hammer in the garage and there's a nail that needs to go up. If I never go get the hammer and use it for the nail, nothing happens. And we don't want to be in that space. We want to be continually working to improve, and our behavior infuses the tools with the power that they have. So make sure you're doing that. So we educate, we empower, and we encourage. And I cannot speak enough about the power of community. Community. So important. If we want to go somewhere, we can go by ourselves. But if we take people with us, if we are in community, then the possibility of maintaining long-term success skyrockets. So join in community. Where you are, start a limitless living gang, local gang there. Start a chapter wherever you are. Get some people together and say, hey, let's go watch this show. Hey, let's walk through the health action plan. Hey, let's think about balanced bites. How can we as a family begin thinking our food in this way? My son and I, we exercise, on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. It's a bonding time for us. Begin doing that. Get a walking partner. Form a walking group at your job. Community will push you. Community will pull you. Community will encourage you. Community will help you be successful over the long haul and over the long run. I'm always excited when I get to spend time with you. I'm always excited to see the benefits that you're getting and the tools that you're using as you are getting the success in your health, success in getting off of medication, success in your weight management, success in we've had people say, hey, I went to the doctor and the doctor couldn't believe what's going on. And they ask, how is this happening? I shared with our community members a fascinating and exciting thing that happened to me when I went to my ophthalmologist recently. Yes, it's happening. And you get to be a place where you get to say to people, hey, come, let's do this together. Our family does not have to keep having heart attacks. We don't have to keep losing limbs. We don't have to lose our sight. We don't have to go on dialysis. We don't have to have strokes. Just because you've been told that your family history is consistent with this doesn't mean it has to happen to you. You can make a difference because the ability that you have, the limitless ability that you have, is unstoppable. We'll be back tomorrow as we do our check-in in the afternoon. Tomorrow evening, let me say that real quickly. Tomorrow evening, we're going to change up a little bit. So for our community members, I will send out a link for our community meetup. We're going to postpone it for tomorrow. For our show itself, it may be a little later than normal. I'm not quite sure what time. We've got some things going on here in town, and I'm not quite sure when that's going to end. But keep an eye out. We will do something tomorrow. I'm not sure quite when and what. But for our check-in tomorrow evening, we will be checking in tomorrow. We do our pop-up tomorrow afternoon around 1:30-ish. And then we will do our fasting check-in on Friday as we go through the rest of the week. Make sure you come and join us as we move through the rest of the week. Get over there to our this week's videos and watch through those if you want to know what's going on. And then, of course, walk through the Start Here videos. I'm so excited. Once again, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Now go live a limitless life, and we'll see you in the community, and we'll see you as we move through the rest of the week. Good night, everybody.